Good evening. What is going on? HeirofCarthage here, my wonderful viewers. Thank you for being here. I've got something new to start for you. Yes, we're going to start a Dark Elves campaign, but before we do, I just wanted to say thank you to those of you who have been subscribing. If you do enjoy these videos, please subscribe. I'll keep you in touch. It'll keep you in touch because you can get notified of the newest ones. And then appreciate those of you who have been liking. If you like the video, that's always appreciated. I don't usually talk about it, but just wanted to say thank you to those who always support me with that. And I'm genuinely happy that so many of you enjoy the videos. That's part of what makes this so much fun. So we are going to go here to the one character in Total War history who has ever had nipple armor. Yes, that's Morathi, the Dark Elf. So we're going to be starting a Dark Elf campaign with Morathi. And you all can save your questions for her on exactly how this armor works and whether or not it's terribly chafing. But considering that her fingers and toes look pretty frostbitten, I'm guessing that other extremities are probably lost all feeling as well. So in any case, let's get things kicked off. The Dark Elves are this murderous, sensual, carnal faction, I suppose. That's what they seem to come across as. Some people get on to me because they're like, aren't you supposed to know this lore? I really don't know the lore of Warhammer. I'm not saying it's not interesting. It kind of is cool, but I just like what I see in the game. I'm not really interested in going outside the game at this point. But I think it's cool when you all share stuff with me that I don't know about the lore, so I always appreciate that in the comments. Anyway, the Dark Elves can have black arcs, which are like an aircraft carrier, and these can be used to call in naval bombardments, which will definitely...
Victory is assured,
That's
sir.
right. It will assure your victory, and I need to go out and get the naval bombardment thing from him on the soundtrack, since he always talked about it in Fall of the Samurai. You can get slaves that help boost your economy. I'm sure my video just got flagged for saying that word. But yeah, the slaves are part of the Dark Elf economy. As you win battles and take over settlements, the slaves can be shipped back to your provinces, and they drive the economy, but they can also create public order problems and potentially rebellions. Murderous prowess is like the kill meter, which that probably also just got me flagged up at the top of the screen, and when it fills up, basically the Dark Elves unleash their fury, and the more you kill, the more powerful your units can become. So it's pretty cool. In terms of the faction effects, they spread chaos, corruption. They have diplomatic relations of +20 with all other elves. The hero cost is -50%. And on the turn start, lords and characters in the region with Morathi have a chance of gaining loyalty. Loyalty is something that's kind of like it was in Total War Attila, where the generals had a loyalty factor, and you have to keep them loyal. If it gets too low, they can rebel and take their army with them, and I think that just kind of plays into that whole murderous, greedy type of play that the Dark Elves fit into here. So Chaos Corruption as well. We get to start with a War Hydra and Harpies. This is a hard start, and I'm going to play this one on hard. I've already got 3 very hard campaigns going on, so I don't feel like I have to like prove anything by beating this on very hard. I just want to have a fun playthrough, so that's why I'm setting on the hard difficulty. We've got a hard start. It shouldn't be a waltz in the park, but it'll kind of just make it a little bit more fun. And hopefully I can still give you all some tips on how to go. Obviously, tips change depending on what difficulty setting you're playing on. But let's kick things off. I have turned on the subtitles because one of my viewers reminded me that I should turn those on. So thanks for the reminder. I've got them turned on. Enjoy a really cool cutscene.
The world has seen countless murders, but one killing stands above all others. One death that has shaped the world. Malekith, son of Aenarion, was betrayed. The Elven princes crowned Bel-Shannar as the second Phoenix King. So Malekith brooded and poured his hate into a single cup. Malekith toasted Bel-Shannar, then stepped over his dying body and into the sacred flame of kings. But the fires stripped his flesh, and with a final scream, he hurled himself back from whence he came. His body was taken north, and a suit of armor forged. Malekith was reborn. The Witch King, and in his shadow, legions raised. Decades of civil war followed. Then Malekith embarked on the most ruthless of plans. his sorcerers would unbind the magic of the Great Vortex. Created by Kalidor Dragon Tamer and his elven mages, the Vortex siphons the winds of magic, keeping the demon tide at bay. Malekith's spell was flung at the Vortex, but Kalidor himself broke through the mists of time to deflect the titanic force back at its casters. The Shadowlands were ravaged, sundered.
Their ships look awesome.
You live. You die. You live. You die. Servants, you amuse me.
The dragon with two tails hangs in the sky, and you indulge in petty games.
You summoned me, Your Highness. You bring this witch here.
She is well versed in lore and prophecies.
She will betray you, my son, as all have done.
She is indebted to me. I have her soul. Step forward, Felicion the Heartkeeper. The comet disrupts the vortex. Whilst it is weak, a prophecy can be fulfilled.
Of a king who consumes the heart of Ulthuan. My son will take its power and our vengeance.
Find the Oracle. She knows what to do.
I am willing to serve, to earn my soul's release.
I don't remember hearing him promise to release her soul. Did you? Anyway, these seem like a very straightforward and very truthful, honest, and even-handed bunch, no doubt. Sarcastically speaking, of course.
The dragon with two tails brings great turmoil upon the world, my children. Its wake disrupts the great vortex. The heart of Ulthuan is exposed. Such turmoil brings opportunity. Yet it seems my son is not alone in seeking to bend the vortex to his will. The traitorous dreadlords of Bleak Hold have struck in my absence, annexing cities I claim and carrying off the treasures within. Whatever has driven them to such a suicidal attack is irrelevant. All who oppose the Witch King shall die.
Is that a reference to them being chased by Skaven, maybe? I don't know, that's kind of cool. Alright, so thank you, Morathi. I'm going to make sure that the advice settings are on minimal. Yes, they are. Later. So we mentioned slaves, black arcs, and chaos corruption, so I don't think we need to cover this. It's just showing you the little icon up here. This is what shows you how many slaves you have. And then, of course, you know, our ritual currency is these scrolls of Hekarti. So we're looking for scrolls of Hekarti. And that's our ritual resource. There is a settlement that contains these resources fairly nearby. It's over this direction. I've played a little bit of this campaign for fun. I have not beaten it. What was that mission? Let's catch that again. Some Bleak Outlook. So capture and occupy a settlement belonging to the Bleak Holds. We will absolutely do this.
Unthinkable.
I had someone like trolling me for not attacking the enemy army on the very first turn. Really? I mean... It's a little bit crazy. But in any case, there's always someone who likes being a critic, and that's okay. I'm not opposed to critics, as long as they have like good critical advice, I should say, not good things to say. That would have been stupid. Yeah, I'm not opposed to critics as long as they have good things to say.
You. Fight.
No, that's not what I meant. I meant I'm never opposed to someone who's got good critical advice. Like, so for instance, someone told me to turn on the what do you call it? The subtitles. Yeah, so I turn on the subtitles. That kind of stuff I like. And I also like when people tell me I'm saying Steglodon instead of Stegodon. Whoops. So very happy to take that kind of critical feedback from people so that I don't continue to make an idiot of myself, which I'm somewhat used to at this point, but that's okay. I always appreciate people who want to give me helpful, critical feedback. I'm going to put our missile units up front, and yes, this War Hydra, speaking of, let's take a look at some of these units. You've seen Harpies in Warhammer 1 before, so we won't focus there first, but start deployment. So here's the War Hydra, freaking amazing, really cool unit, and its breath attack is incredible. We've got these Dark Shards here, which are skirmishers. These are armor-piercing crossbow units, a little bit shorter range than what you're used to with the Pretty Boy High Elves. And then here we've got Dread Spears. There's a similar unit called Bleak Swords, and I think they're Dread Spears. Here we've got a Cainite Assassin, which is our hero. He is pretty cool. He's got a really strong missile attack that's of limited range, but he can use it while moving, which is kind of cool. And of course, there's Morathi and all of her nipple armor glory. So let's move on. Oh, I guess I'll show you the Harpies. Here's the Harpies. They're pretty much the same. They're still nasty flying creatures. Let's get our troops together here. We'll take our Harpies around. Alright, let's get going. Take care of business. No need to really check out too many of these other Dark Elf units because they're going to be similar. The only new one here that you may not have seen yet is these Black Art Corsairs, which are a more dedicated anti-infantry unit. They don't have shields, but they cause far more damage to infantry. They have a bonus versus infantry. So Bleak Swords and Dread Spears are really a defensive unit meant to give you a front line that has some resistance to missile, whereas Black Art Corsairs, Witch Elves, and other such units are meant to do more of your damage. And in the case of using Morathi here, Morathi is going to be a powerful sorceress that you need to use to your advantage because she can cause tremendous damage. Just watch this real quick. Watch this War Hydra. We're going to use him to do his breath attack. Breath attacks are incredible, and the War Hydra seems to just have a really good breath attack. Probably because it has so many heads. Just look at that. And you may not think it looked like that much. Look at the damage there. So we just picked up 16 kills now. I mean, it can be more than I've gotten hundreds of kills before by slinging in some pain there. He's mystifying miasma. Let's fall back. Bring in the Dread Spears. Bring in Morathi and our Cainite Assassin. See if we can get to the enemy lord. And we're going to try and keep our War Hydra over here to the side. One good breath attack from the side would finish off pretty much every enemy unit you're seeing here. Let's use these Harpies. Actually, forget it. Recharge with the Harpies over here. We'll use our crossbows to finish off that returning Black Art Corsair if it actually gets back here. And we're ready for another breath attack, so let's have some fun. Watch this. Look at that, just massacred the enemy. 157 kills. So yeah, the War Hydra and its breath attack can be a tremendous asset to you. When I did play this campaign before, I was playing on very hard, and the enemy was far more numerous, and you better believe it was very, very helpful to use that War Hydra to its fullest when you're playing as Morathi on the more difficult settings. The War Hydra is absolutely critical. And Harpies, these very useful starting unit that can help you tie down enemy archers where necessary. Anyway, we're going to end the battle. In the battle. So you can see the War Hydra is, yeah, a great unit. If I can get more of these, we're going to get more of them. Now, of course, the Dark Elves also have access to a Black Dragon, which is an incredibly great unit as well. But, I mean, honestly, the High Elves have all the cool dragons, in my opinion. So see, here's your options. You can increase your treasury at the cost of replenishment. You can murder all the captives and gain extra experience, or you can enslave, which starts to build up that slave number. We need to do this because you have to use slaves to open up the different rights, and there's other things that they can benefit us. So most of the time, we're probably going to be taking this option. All right, so Morathi was successful in her first turn attack. We're going to get back into our own territory. And we'll take a look at the initial skill tree here. We probably want to give her as much magic as quick as we can. Pit of Shades is available, and it would be absolutely painful for our enemies. So let's start here with Melkoth's Mystifying Miasma, and we'll work through. We definitely want Doom and Darkness. This Power of Darkness can increase the Winds of Magic. I think... Hang on, Winds of Magic cost... Cooldown for... I think it's an ability that increases your Winds of Magic at the cost of it damages you, potentially. And of course we have Life Leeching and the others, but we definitely want to get to Pit of Shades because it's very, very useful. And then over here there's also some passives and the Arcane Conduits. And there's a couple of different things in the tech tree I wanted to point out real quick that can be really, really handy. Up here, under this Tenacious tree, you get more captives after battle, which can help your slave counts. And if you get over here, it's this one right here, Absolute Devotion, gives minus 30% upkeep to all units, and then it takes away 50% attrition. That is pretty big deal, so just pointing out that was one of the things I noticed. In terms of the tech tree, the Dark Elves tech tree works by, you have like this main tree here, so it says choose or die, upgrade 1, 2, 3. So yeah, you have to have some money usually to do these upgrade ones, and the only way that you can research the next upgrade is by having all 3 of the sub technologies open. So you don't necessarily have to unlock all of these to move on. You just have to have the 3 top level ones open. So I think the first one we'll want to do is this Battle as Business, because we get extra loot and other stuff. So in terms of the rights, let's take a look at that. So under rights we have the Sacrifice to Authority, which gives us a extra chance to gain loyalty and public order. So this one's used to calm down enemy lands. You can see it takes 100 slaves, and it has 5 turn duration, a 20 turn cooldown. Sacrifice to Hecate is going to be 250 slaves, and you can see it's really focused around agent success and magic. The Sacrifice to Cain gives you extra casualties post-battle, better casualty replenishment rate, more slaves. It increases the decline of slaves, because obviously they're dying under your horrible, torturous treatment. Anyway, it gives you this Dark Conduit ability too, which is a cool explosion that you can target on one of your units, and it explodes around it and hurts enemies near them. And then up here at 500, you can get the Black Arc, which is pretty incredible. Now, in order to unlock these, you have to have certain buildings. So see, you have to have a slave pen building. This one, you have to have 3 sets of captives. This one says it will unlock after performing an action with a sorceress hero, and then this one unlocks after issuing the demand highborn hostages commandment over a province. So that's how you unlock these things, so it's good to pay attention to. Under the diplomacy, we have some nearby factions that, you know, maybe it makes sense to befriend. This Clark Karand, don't really care to do anything with them. I'm not sure that there's anything worthwhile doing in here just at the moment. We could try and get some non-aggression packs, but a lot of times it puts that stuff into missions, and I'd kind of like to get some extra scrolls by doing it in the mission. But the first thing we need to do is capture an enemy settlement. We do want to recruit some more units, but we also want to be able to train Bleak Swords, which, you know, I'm just sitting here thinking, so 34, 30, 28 versus 25, 40, 25. Yeah, so we want some Bleak Swords. They're going to do a little better versus infantry, and we'd like to get access to Dark Shards with shields. The range being somewhat limited on Dark Shards definitely makes the shielded variant quite appealing. So I think for now I'm just going to recruit a couple more Dark Shards. Well, I say that, I want the one with shields. Let's just wait a turn, because there's not a big enough army in front of me to really concern me terribly. And we'll chase Neheth back down here to Iron Spike and take Iron Spike from them. Or we could just come, well, I'm worried that by the time I get over here, between the garrison and then they'll probably recruit another unit, that we might end up in trouble. Let's,
Corruption thrives.
I hate waiting, but let's just wait one more turn real quick. And that way we can recruit better units. I just don't want to recruit, like, I guess I could have just recruited crummy units and then just disbanded them. That would have been all the same and not wasted time. But I guess I'm being anal and I just want to recruit the Bleak Swords instead. Actually, let's get 2 Bleak Swords and 1 Dark Shard. And then we'll move forward. So our Cainite Assassin has leveled up. And if we look at his abilities. There's some cool abilities up here. Dark Venom, Manbane, all this other stuff. So Dark Venom gives extra weapon damage on self, which is pretty darn sweet. But I'm going to start with him, just giving the most increased slave income. Is that just an increase in constant level effect, increases income in the local province? Okay, yeah, so they have to be in a local province. I'm not real worried about that. Let's go down the melee tree. He's not great in melee, but with enough upgrades, he actually gets pretty good. And he also has that missile attack, which is 800 missile damage, and he can fire while moving. I think it's limited to about 80 range, but it is pretty cool. Okay, now we're ready. Let's roll down here. No more waiting. We've done enough waiting. I keep pushing the space bar to try and speed things up. If you want to move the camera faster, you actually have to come in here to the camera settings. You can set the animation speeds there for your faction, which I just did. Let's end another turn. And then we'll take Iron Spike. Okay, we finished our technology. That's definitely good. Let's keep working on these other highest level ones. Let's do this one because it gives us growth, and the longer we have it, the better.
Hag sorceress of blood. Morathi commands you. Fight.
Alright, so they've got a couple of Bleak Swords, a couple Dark Shards. Let's go ahead and fight this one.
Awaits.
We can probably do better than the auto-resolve would feed us. They've got a Black Art Corsair and a Bleak Lord. Is that what they call it? No, hang on. Dreadlord, sorry. Bleak Swords, Dreadlord, Dread Spears. I can see this as being another opportunity for me to screw up. I'll be watching the comments. Because I'm sure you all will correct me on it. Which, like I said, is appreciated as long as you're doing it the right way. Here we go. Hydra, Morathi, and Cainite Assassin. Just put the two of them right there. Hard group. Actually, let's put these two in their own group as well. Throw these, start deployment. Okay. The AI is wanting to sit on their butt. We have more skirmishers and we have a War Hydra, so I don't think that that's an intelligent move on their behalf. I'm pretty sure they'll move forward once I get close enough. We're gonna swing these Harpies around, try and get the attention of these Dark Shards. I can show you all the Bleak Swords up close. They're very similar to the Dread Spears, they just have a sword. So here's the Bleak Swords. This is not the best lighting to see these Dark Elf units, but really cool units. They have a lot of armor and kind of ornate weaponry and stuff, just like their High Elf cousins, but obviously a much darker over-theme. Well, let's light these guys up with a little bit of War Hydra and see if they want to still stand still. Actually, hold on. Hold on just a second there, Hydra. Let's move up the other units. That way we have some Dark Shards close enough to help intervene. So I don't want my Hydra to just get like completely caught out with no support. Politics is a dangerous game in Nagaron. Listen, buddy, this is a game video. We don't want to talk about your stinking politics. Besides, Gorebull forever. Gorebull for president, Gorebull for Senate, Gorebull for Congress, Gorebull for Gorebull. You name it. I want Gorebull in all the positions. Emperor. Yeah. Really? I mean, the AI is like really camping this here. I'm sure maybe if I move up into range, dislodge them. I've noticed that, and that's one thing I'll say, I haven't, I don't have like a full review of the game ready. I'm not sure I'd rather play like at least 100 hours or something in the game before I tell you anything different. The AI has had a few issues, and this is one of them right here. Typically the AI won't just sit back and take a beating, but for some reason on these choke point maps, which are new to this game, the AI is still a little bit buggy here. I've sent some feedback to Creative Assembly, and I'm sure they can fix it. It shouldn't be that hard. But yeah, this is the kind of thing where, there it goes. So we maybe finally dislodged them a little here. After picking up 52 scalding kills there with our Hydra. But you can see the AI is still wanting to camp up here because it's, you know, they win if the timer runs out, so they want to camp, but they need to tweak the AI here to know, like, hey, we've got a missile disadvantage. Don't do this anymore. So let's go put the AI out of their misery. Okay. Yeah, let's get our dark shards. Target enemy dark shards. And let's do some burninating. Oh, that little blob right there is going to be perfect for the Hydra. Look at that. Just laid it down. Not as many kills as I expected, honestly. Let's get those guys dark shards. I know you're on fire at will, but I specifically gave you a command to attack there. Let's do some mystifying miasma just to add salt onto the wound there. And then let's fight the Dreadlord. Let's take these Bleak Swords through and attack these dark... Actually, leave the dark shards because they're just going to flee away. Yeah, hey, once again, I'm pretty sure I gave you guys an attack order here. Oh, they were on a hard group, so that's why they weren't responding. Really? Their dark shards got the... How in the world did their troops get enough kills to trigger the murderous prowess there? Or is it just because they're getting the crap kicked out of them? So look at them. They're still falling away trying to defend here. It's very odd. So Creative Assembly definitely needs to revisit the AI behavior on these choke point maps. Are we really having trouble taking out a Dreadlord? Okay, we just got the murderous prowess now. Okay, dark shards are now moving up when I don't want them to. Perfect. Let's just reissue our commands, and we've shut down the Dreadlord, and the enemy Dark Elves are fleeing in the face of my War Hydra, who's enjoying a little snack here at Morathi's bidding. Morathi, being the wicked old wench that she is probably dating the War Hydra would be my guess. Let's see here. She's probably dating Malekith. Ooh! Take that. Take that.
Shameful display!
What, my jokes or Morathi? I don't know, you all decide for yourself. So we picked up a potion of toughness. Hey, wait a minute, if Malekith is dating Morathi, what does Carl Franz think of that?
This action does not have my consent.
Carl, come on, you're not into that kind of thing? Alright, enough of my jokes. We've had fun with the soundboard. Let's occupy the settlement. We can loot and occupy, which gives us a few slaves, but it's not really worth the public order penalty, so let's just settle.
Corruption is rife.
Now, we already have this building, and granted, this building can be built up in one of these smaller provinces, and some people have pointed that out to me. Well, there's stuff that goes to Tier 3 that you should build in the smaller provinces. I agree. Here's the thing, though. You'll notice that we have, let's see, what is it, 7 building slots in total in the main chain. And if you look here, I've only got 4 buildings that even go up to that. Or, hang on, we need to be on this one. My bad. We're on the wrong building chain. Let's go into this one. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 buildings that would actually fit in that. So we probably do need to prioritize those buildings into these slots. The main reason why I don't like doing it early is because I like building these growth type things in my smaller settlements. So I'm going to leave this one here temporarily, but I get it. This needs to be moved out of the way so that we can focus on these. Well, we don't necessarily have to build defenses, but you could. So that we can focus on the ones that have to go into there. So I'm going to leave it there. I understand that tearing this down when it could go in the smaller settlement. I get it, and you guys are right. In the long term, that's where it needs to be. So I'm just acknowledging that I heard you all talking about that. Let's go ahead and build the Darkhold here. We killed an enemy in battle. Got the Potion of Toughness, completed the mission, picked up 8 scrolls and 1,000 in the treasury. We've got a new mission, which is to maintain control of an entire province, which means we need to rush down to the Moon Shard and take control of that to get more scrolls. Yeah, and let's do it before the public order gets a whole lot worse as well. We have upgrades for Morathi and Arcanite Assassin. Here we go. We need to rename this guy too. So let's name him. We're going to name him Hang on. Patch Assassin. And bad name, Heir. When I do jokes this lame.
A shameful display!
Or, hang on. Patch Assassin. A shame for display. Oh, please fit. No! Alright, we're just gonna have to go shame for display. Alright. Alright, there we go. I think that name works. And we need to name our War Hydra too. Let's see. We're gonna rename the War Hydra Trogdar from the Strong Bad stuff. There we go. Alright, Trogdar. Burninating the countryside. I mean, that was like for all the young people, but I guess that shows how old I am. Some of you are probably not even old enough to know what that is. Let's do Doom and Darkness. Patch Assassin here. The Shame for Display. Let's work on Precise and Survivalist. Perfect. Time to end another turn. We are going to need more troops soon. I'm trying to hold out just a little while on recruiting more troops, though, so that we can use the extra income to start building up our provinces. But we have quite a bit of money, and as long as we keep conquering, we're going to be in good shape. Okay, if we build a level 3 elf settlement, we pick up 6 more scrolls and 1,000 more to the treasury. Oh wait, we just got more missions too, and I'm just flying through them here. We need to search a ruined settlement, my bad. And I think we can use our assassin to do that. Can we not? Let's send our assassin off. I think he can search settlements. Scout ruins. Scout the ruins to reveal any hidden threats. I don't think they can search for treasure though, can they? Search it for treasure. I don't know, let's find out. I mean, we'll send our guy down to check it out. Is that the fastest way to get to one? I mean, right there you can definitely just see the crosshairs that come up, whereas the treasure pops up. I'm not sure that they can search for treasure. So we may need to do that on our own. Let's just keep him in the army, and we're going to roll down here. It probably won't hurt me at this point to get a couple more Bleak Swords, just to kind of bolster up numbers, and then one more. Oh wait, we want to switch to the Dark Shards with shields, so let's go ahead and get the Dark Shard with shield, and we'll switch the others over. Okay, let's go. We definitely need to do all the missions though, because the missions, even though it's little bits of scrolls, it adds up, and it keeps us in the running with the ritual. So sign a non-aggression pact with these people, and we get 4 scrolls and 500. Wax and Wane is going to take away leadership. That kind of stinks. Not gonna lie.
Noble of Nagaroth, the Witch King welcomes you.
Non-aggression pact.
Treat on his gladly.
They seem pretty open to everything else except for Confederation, so how about we enter a military alliance?
Indeed.
That'll strengthen our position. Even though they're not very strong, maybe we can even get them to like confederate or something after a turn or so.
What do you bring before the Black Call?
If we get lucky, we can just pick up another province. So we got 4 scrolls and the 500 from that.
Anarian's bride.
Anarian's bride. Okay. So we don't need the trace resources yet. We do want them, but we don't need them yet. Let's stick with the building that buffs growth and replenishment to start with. But we definitely want to get the trade resources opened up. So let's go ahead and end the turn. We're going to need to take a lot more slaves too.
What do you want?
Okay, so these guys want a peace treaty. I mean, I don't really know who you are, so... Ah, man, I should have extorted some money out of them. What was I thinking? Ha! The rebels came in to do my bidding for me. So destroy the Bleak Holds. Mission issued. You jerks. Well, hey, we get to search for a treasure, so thank you. Chaos, thank you. That works out perfect. Let's do a treasure hunt. Now, people suggested to me, Heir, get into the lore. That's the way to be successful here. So, all right, I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna try and think like a dark elf. Think like a dark elf. All right, nipple armor, murderous, greedy, pleasure. Okay, all right, I'm in the zone here. All right, so After a large battle, bodies litter the ground, and the stench of death fills the air. It appears the defenders were protecting the entrance to a small warehouse. Pondering on its contents, you wonder whether it was really worth dying for. So we can move on. That doesn't sound very dark elfy. Burying the dead definitely doesn't seem very dark. Investigating kind of seems a little bit like, I mean, looting the bodies seems like the carnal and immediate pleasure type thing to do, so let's just do that. Your retainers quickly establish that the corpses have already been looted. There's nothing. Come on! I acted like a dark elf! Ugh! What is this crap? I mean, I'm sitting here defacing the bodies of the dead. That's not dark elfy like investigating the warehouse was. What a bunch of crap. You all said to get into character. I got into character and it didn't work. I'm holding all of you responsible. Alright, now I'm waiting for all the angry comments that somehow tell me that I was still not in character with Dark Elf. So, alright. Do our best to move on here. So what other missions do we have? Traders Hold. We have control of a province. That's good. Or actually we don't, because we still have to settle there. So we'll have that on the next turn. We need to build the Dark Tower, which is coming soon. And recruit a Lord. I don't really want to recruit a Lord because it's going to take away a whole bunch of upkeep. Expand the citadels, recruit a Lord. We get some scrolls, which I guess we could always just disband the Lord shortly hereafter. This tells you what you're going to get in terms of loyalty, and that's why I really don't want to recruit a Lord. Because they're probably just going to rebel. We'll recruit this guy as discipline. You can see what it does to my upkeep too. I'm not a huge fan of that either. We'll use him to go start investigating ruined settlements.
Do not vex us further.
The mother of the Druki will hear your request.
Okay, what do you want, mother of the Druki? Or wait, I'm the mother of the Druki. My bad. What do you want? Nalosi? That's kind of an interesting name. So they want me to join their war against Clan Na. I mean, I am your ally, but yeah, no. Why? Because I'm a dark elf and I don't have to. That's right. Choke on it.
Enchanting.
We'll all get a drink later and not be friends. Alright, so mission issued. Ensure that one of the following buildings have been constructed. A sorceress's abode. At the start of a turn, have at least 350 scrolls. Yeah, it's going to take a while, but I'm working on it. Alright, we're going to colonize. We now control an entire province, which should have completed another mission, but I guess we have to hold it through the end of a turn. We're going to do this one that boosts public order for now, because we want to slow that down. We'll rebuild this settlement, and we're going to make sure that this guy heads out here to inspect Tyrant Peak. Got our ancient city.
I watch from the shadows.
Mr. Shameford to spray here. We can upgrade his precise a little more. And it's going to run us into the dirt income-wise, but I kind of do want to recruit some more units. I don't really want the Dread Spears, to be honest. I got a Hydra and other stuff to help hold up my flanks. So I'm just going to kick these 2 units and replace them with Bleak Swords because I think it'll be more useful. And actually, let's just get one more Bleak Sword on top of the whole thing. That ought to do. It's going to run us very low in terms of the money we have left. Alright, now we're going to do this Driven by Vengeance, so that we'll be able to head to upgrade 1 whenever we feel like it.
I speak for the
Dang it. So the Bleak Holds got destroyed. That must mean, I'm guessing the High Elves or some other faction that are stationed here got the Bleak Holds, which kept me from completing that mission, which is a little bit irritating, but I guess that's what I get for delaying a couple turns back at the beginning. It's my own fault. I don't know if that cancels that mission. I'm sure it doesn't complete it for me. So we did maintain the control. We picked up 2,007 scrolls. Ha! We did get credit for it. Thanks a lot, whoever did that. I don't know who you are, but appreciate the help. Mission issued. Issue a commandment, which we did. So we can, we've unlocked the sacrifice to Ethardi. Let's see what that right is. I don't think we probably need it right now. It does give extra public order, which could be pretty handy for 5 turns. It only cost 100 slaves, but we don't have 100 slaves right now.
What now?
Keep heading out to Tyrant Peak. You're slow, buddy.
I shall rest.
Why don't you go into Force March? Alright.
Speak.
Don't need you poking around. If there is going to be a rebellion here, I'd almost like to kind of just force it out. Let's move up here to the edge of our territory and kind of see if we can get a peek at what's going on over here. Yeah, sure enough.
If you wish.
The goody-good elves have come out.
Madness fills the air.
Madness fills the air.
From the shadows.
Must be because of your foul stench. Diplomacy. So we can't do any trade. That's a little bit perturbing. Okay. Do you like how I'm being such a good neighbor too? They're like, hey, please join our war. I'm like, meh. I'm good. I could do without. Okay, we issued the commandment. Got 500 more from the treasury. That's good. We're sitting on a decent amount of money right now. I'm going to go into the channeling stance so we can replenish. Actually, we could just merge these units and speed this up. In fact, we'll just disband that one and retrain it. And I want to get, so that'll put me back up to 6 Bleak Swords. I kind of want to, let's merge these Dark Shards. Get rid of one. Replace them with a couple of Dark Shards with shields. This will get us ready for combat a little bit faster. We can start building the Dark Tower, which we need to do. And then here we can put in this one that's going to buff our growth and replenishment more as well. Perfect. And like I said, we're kind of trying to cause a little rebellion here so I can put it down before I head to another province.
Enter and speak, for time is a luxury of which you have little.
Okay, just leave me alone. Not interested. How many times do I have to tell you no? Already regretting being your friend. I mean, I'm not much of a friend, but I'm regretting even saying that I was going to be your friend. What the? How come I can't search this for... Oh, that thing was up on the screen. I'm like, what? Alright, so... Attack a force belonging to the Scions of Tesnic. Okay.
Lord of the Black Court.
Alright. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. I'm a Dark Elf. Really channeling the whole nipple armor vibe right now. Get into the vibe. Alright. While searching through the ruins on the war-torn city, you find a concealed entrance to the underworld's sea in the mouth of a cave. Squeezing through the gap in the rocks, you carefully enter. As you stand on the shore, ominous sounds echo from the depths below. Alright, Dark Elves are not going to run away. Searching also doesn't really seem like the Dark Elves. Wouldn't they go fight the monster? Isn't that part of the murderous lust that they have here?
Acknowledged.
Okay, a Kraken rise. There, finally. Now we get something out of this. This is what I'm talking about. I don't know. Okay, that's that lord over there. He gets 1,000. So now we're talking. A Kraken rises and attacks your party. After a hard-fought battle, you're able to subdue it. Right.
What now?
Looks like I finally succeed in doing something moderately useful for the faction. So we will go and explore more ruined cities. Gosh, dang, man, I'm always getting those words backed up. I irritate myself with that, folks. Don't worry. I know I irritate you, too.
The Druki are restless.
The Druki are restless.
I am the
Guessing
first
Druki is some kind of word for Dark Elves.
It
Maybe
is
someone can
will.
fill me in on that one. I'm going to move back here a little closer where we're going to have the rebellion here in a couple turns. Let's beat down the rebellion. And then we will go ahead and move on to the next settlement to capture. Alright, Dread Spears, Dark Shards, Bleak Swords. Got it. Let's do... Is there anything here I really want? Unit experience, leadership, upkeep for Corsairs. Income from sacking settlements would be kind of cool. Melee attack for Harpies. Growth in all provinces would be handy. Casualties after that would be handy. Public order would be... So there are a few here that would be good. More so than what I need in this stuff. So let's go to... income from sacking settlements would probably be a good one to start with. Okay, we're gonna get a rebellion in a couple turns. I'm just worried that I won't be strong enough to take the Bleakhold Fortress right away. We could ignore the Bleakhold Fortress, but I mean, this is not a very habitable area over here. You can see that these are not exactly where we want to be living. This stuff up to the north is not particularly habitable either. So, I mean, this makes the most sense over here in terms of expansion because it's going to be the most sensible land. The stuff to the south of us could make sense if this tribe or clan of Dark Elves continues to be successful.
Dreadlord, await. You shall speak and I shall listen. Then we shall see.
It's like, I won't help them, and I keep going back to check and see whether or not they want to confederate with me. Ha!
Is it time?
And I'm surprised why now? Yeah, that army's building up strength, but if they come over closer to us, it'll work out. Let's go over here and look for treasure. Alright, here we go.
The Sunderer. They have their
Alright, Shameford Display gets another precision.
mother of the
Alright, we are 2 turns from rebellion here. Can I raid my own province and like speed up the rebellion? Sure could. Let's do it. There we go. Now we're gonna get a rebellion on the next turn. I should have done that in the first place. That would have been much more effective. Alright.
Vex us further.
That's probably not smart, but whatever. I'm getting impatient. There's the Chaos Uprising. Man, they just went straight in for the city. These guys aren't joking. Alright, we'll go out of our raiding stance where we forced the rebellion. I kind of want to let the rebellion go on for one more turn if we can, so like I might let them siege since I'm going to be getting reinforcements.
Defenses will hold.
At least I think we would be.
Annihilate.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. Alright. So I'm going to let them siege for one more turn just to get rid of a little more of the disorder effects there. We've got this hut. We can make or produce wood for export. I know we don't have trade partners yet, but we want to soon. So I'm just getting all that ready. Plus, it gives me a little income, even if I'm not trading it just yet. Let's do our treasure hunt. All right. Deep beneath a ruined ziggurat, in the central plaza of this ancient deserted city, you find a door and cautiously push it open. Inside the chamber, an elaborate throne, sits a skeleton holding an ancient sword. As you approach, the blade emits a strange purple glow. All right, well, they definitely wouldn't reseal the door and leave. I would think the Dark Elves would just take the sword, right? It's my sword. Give me your dang sword. I want it. And apparently we picked up something.
The mother of the Druki will hear your request.
Yeah, sure, you can have military access. Wow, they expanded. Huh, who would have thought? I might be able to trade with them now, too. Because of the land they've picked up. That'd be great to have a trade partner down there. And a buffer between me and the lizards. Yeah, we sure enough picked up the Sword of Bloodshed. So that works out. But this guy, even though you found the sword, tough luck, buddy. That one's going to Morathi. Alright. You can keep searching for treasure, though. She has a use for you. Alright, he's going to keep searching for treasure. We can now go ahead and get rid of these Chaos Rebels. Just auto-resolve our way through that. Really, we lost 2 Bleak Swords in the process.
Do what you must.
But we gained us some slaves off the Chaos and some loot. I'm okay with that.
The hag sorceress has said.
Okay, let's get in here and start drawing down the public order problems. Let's go ahead and put another point into Doom and Darkness because it's worth it. And in terms of recruiting units, I want to... Crap! Oh yeah, it's not finished. I was like, why is that not done? Ah, because I was letting them siege the city. That's why it's not done. Iron Spike. Let's go ahead and buff this up. In the turn. I'm going a little bit slower than I should be here, but it'll be alright. We'll be okay. Ooh, crapola. Hello, lizards. Well, we're not going to let the lizards invade our land, and I don't have an immediate threat from the Bleak Hold Fortress, so we're going to enter the war on the side of our ally, and we're going to go fight lizards. We have military access. The lands to the south are probably inhabitable for us. So we got the Dark Tower, we picked up another 1,000, 6 more scrolls. The only thing that's over here I want is this ritual resource that's over there. I mean, that really is something I want to get my hands on, but you can also get ritual resources down here at the Mirror Pool. Yeah, and the lizard lands are not super inhabitable for us either. But holding on to one province and forcing the lizards to sue for peace could certainly be worthwhile. Okay, here's a few things we need to do. We need to... I think it's time to make a switch, but I want to recruit... Here, let's do some stuff real quick. So let's get... We can get Black Lotus, Manbane, or we can get Dark Venom, which gives us... Let's get Dark Venom, because that gives us the extra weapon damage. I think that'll be really cool. In the city here, I want to get my Bleak Swords back. So let's get our couple Bleak Swords back. And let's replace our regular Dark Shard here. Dark Shard with shields. And then what we'll do is we'll tear down that Hall of Mustering and put it into Iron Spike, since we can. And I don't have anything else I need to do with Iron Spike. And let's maybe start building this building here that gives public order. And then once we've removed this, we can put another military build. Actually, let's start with the military building that I want. So Shades are a missile infantry that actually have better range, and they're good in melee on top of that. It's not bad. And then these ones up here are even better with armor piercing and anti-infantry. Shades with great swords, and then Shades with dual weapons. That's pretty cool. Those are neat units. But I'd kind of like some riders, so let's get the... I mean, eventually, though, we could switch the riders into the Moon Shard, too. But again, right now, I kind of want the riders. So let's do that. This building being built up makes more sense because it gives us 200 more income, extra growth. Okay. There we go. And we have enough money to do this one as well. So why not?
Speak your piece, Druki. I have little time for it.
Non-aggression pact. That makes sense for now. I don't need a war on that front since I'm gonna go fight the lizardmen. These guys are just like camped out back here, and I have a mission to fight them, but fighting them isn't particularly useful for me right now either, to be honest.
Hag sorceress of Grond. Do not vex us further.
Speak.
Are we still on positive public order if we get out of here? Yeah, just barely. Let's go ahead and start walking this direction. And I thought we were still searching. Okay, yeah, he's still going for treasure. We're going to use this lord to do some scouting as well. Right, investigating the outbuildings behind the ruins. Gosh, dang it, why do I always do that? Of a luxurious villa. You find a large group of survivors hiding in a barn. Sneaking up quietly, you hear them talking of rebellion and their hatred against your regime. Trap them inside and burn the warehouse. Now that's gotta be the right answer. Providence has brought you here to silence these agitators. Sweet, we get +3 public order. There, I got my Dark Elf on. Are you happy? Do people believe me now? I'm trying to get into character there. That ought to make you happy. Oh, heck yeah, man. We're going to go get some of these mysterious island treasures, too, and then we'll drop off here at the Fallen Gates. This lord is actually being pretty useful for us, picking up all this treasure. And he got us 3 more public order there, which I'm very happy to have. Okay. It's in the turn. Apparently the Druki are restless, and they haven't told us enough times that they're restless. Narian's Pride.
A vile corruption is spreading.
Dark Riders with shields would be better. We have to wait a couple extra turns, though. That's irritatingly unfortunate. And we're about to be able to build this in the other province, so let's douse it and build it in the other province. Rite of Awakening by Quixotle. Upkeep, Whacker Corsairs. So we finished that research, and then the next one I was going to do is going to be this growth in all provinces. Let's get out of here, treasure man. Do your job. Alright, so not a ton of fighting, but I think we're positioning ourselves okay. I'm not being like super aggressive here, but I think we'll be in decent position. Oh, I forgot to look at trade with this faction. Crap, what am I thinking? Yep.
Come now, time is precious. Speak.
I should have done this a long time ago. Thanks for the trade agreement, jerks. And I will assign them a military target once I get further down and get better scouting. Okay. So that trade agreement actually helps a great deal. Let's see what we find here. Mist clings to the ground and stubbornly refuses to shift even as your followers stride forth. They approach a place of ancient power. It's forbidding, but those who dare tread here may be rewarded, or so the prophecy scrawled into the map states. Your army will perform better in battle. Your army will perform better in campaign. I don't need them to do better at either. Favorable winds. Hey, and we got treasure, so... Hey, we'll take that too, man. Is that just for that army? Rebel scum, supply alliance. It's got to be just for this army, it looks like. Okay, let's go over here and get another treasure. And our hag sorceress. She really likes insisting that she's a hag sorceress. So I didn't say it. She said it about herself, folks. You heard it. You heard it from her own mouth. In terms of what we should put here... We need to build the slave pens because it helps unlock a right. We're not going to make a lot of money off of it just yet, but having it unlocked in the end is something that we want. So, we'll do it. I can't really move into the enemy or into other provinces yet because I still need to recruit once we finish this Messenger's Lodge House.
What is it you seek? I am most intrigued.
What are you intrigued about? So they want me to join their war against New World colonies. Why do you just keep starting all these wars? How about you don't start the war, and then we're in better shape? Oh wait, that's not very dark elf of me, to not want to start wars, but just cram it. Alright, here we go. Let's search another treasure here. A loaded shipwreck starts to sink as your heavy-booted crew fail to take care of an offloading salvage. There is time for only one more load. Army will perform better in battle or in campaign. Whatever, campaign again. Upkeep for all units. Attrition. Sure. We keep picking up treasury, and the treasury alone is kind of worth it.
Set the sails.
Okay, so we'll be able to search for treasure on the next one. Can we get the Dark Riders with shields yet? Crap, dang it, hurry it up.
Corruption of the vilest sort.
Corruption of the vilest sort. How vile is vile? Alright, Morathi's gonna get like old and lazy here waiting on me, but...
What is it you seek?
Okay, what do you want? What do you... No! Go away! You're lucky I'm even coming down to help you in the first place. I mean, eventually I'm gonna come down and help you, once I've gotten all the units that I want.
Mother of the Druki.
You know what other unit we really needed? We really need that Reaper Bolt Thrower. Tell you what. Alright, so here we go. Dark Riders with shields, we're going to get plenty of those, and I'm going to leave the last 2 slots in my army for Reaper Bolt Throwers. That's all the time I have for this episode. We're set up to go and attack the Lizardmen on the next episode. And here's those New World colonies. I guess we can help them clear that out a little bit. They've already got an attack going on the Ziggurat of Dawn. I might just take this whole province here, even though it's not perfectly habitable. We're not going to get huge challenges from taking over this province, and we get the extra ritual resources. So I think we're going to do it. The Fallen Gates are here too. That'd kind of be cool that we can control that. So I hope you all enjoyed the first episode of Morathi. Actually, a whole lot less fighting here than I expected. but we'll go create the fights. HeirofCarthage signing off for now. If you enjoyed it, make sure to subscribe. I will see you on the next episode of Morathi's Dark Elf campaign.